We now know how Russiagate got started, and we know that it was all a lie started by the Hillary Clinton campaign. That the Hillary Clinton campaign realized she was in trouble because of her email scandal, which had broken in 2015 in the wake of Benghazi. We found these emails of hers that were weird, and people were like, what server was that on, and so on. And it created a problem for her all the way up to
Hillary Clinton materializes at public events like the ghost of political history, rattling the chains of past scandals and a sense of entitlement that time cannot erode. Megyn Kelly doesn't just enter this haunted house. She arrives with a forensic team, flipping on the floodlights and broadcasting every inconvenient truth. Her sarcasm acts as a solvent, designed to dissolve the carefully applied lacquer of Hillary's rehearsed charm. Because, as Kelly makes clear, Hillary Clinton is no longer a political player. She's a syndicated rerun, a nostalgic TV show playing on a dusty cable channel, convinced she's still the primetime headliner.
A bit more of a description. Here's a part, I won't make you watch the whole, a part of the trailer for Gutsy.
Okay, here we go. We're hitting the road to shine a light on women who inspire us to be bolder and braver.
Leadership doesn't look one way. It's a giant rainbow.
You're not going to break me down. You'll get worn out before I do.
Women who push us outside our comfort zone.
Megyn Kelly doesn't need to dig for dirt. Hillary Clinton's public record is a sprawling buffet of political miscalculations, each one served with a side of deleted emails and a generous drizzling of blame shifting. Watching Clinton lecture on leadership is a surreal experience, akin to watching a GPS calmly announce recalculating route from the bottom of a river. And in this scenario, Megyn Kelly is the bewildered passenger, pointing out the obvious to everyone else. Shouldn't we be concerned that the driver is certified, yet we are all currently underwater?
You guys, but just for the record, let's play SOT 10.
I do think that he knows that he's an illegitimate president. I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And as I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
She doesn't run for office anymore. She just lingers in the public consciousness like an unclosable pop-up ad that relentlessly asks if you'd like to subscribe to a newsletter of past failures. And Megyn Kelly treats every moment of this lingering presence as a comedic goldmine waiting to be excavated. Take the Clinton Foundation, for instance. It's not a charity. It's a monument to creative accounting and missed opportunities, a masterclass in humanitarian hustle. And every time Hillary Clinton delivers a lecture on integrity, somewhere in the cosmos, irony itself trips on a banana peel and lands squarely in a server closet full of deleted emails.
This woman should be in jail. Literally, Hillary Clinton should be behind bars. And so should the people who worked for her who did this. This is so blatantly corrupt. She wanted to distract from her email scandal. She cooked up a plan to accuse Trump of being a Russian agent in order to distract from her own legitimate scandal. She made up a scandal about Trump being a Russian asset. And they banked on the intel agencies working with her to perpetuate this lie, and it appears they were only too happy to assist.
Hillary Clinton's entire brand is built on power, plausible deniability, and a playbook of rehearsed comebacks. But what happens when that brand is subjected to a ruthless audit by Megyn Kelly? Total system failure. Clinton showed up with decades of PR shielding, but Kelly showed up with a truth so sharp, it pierced every defense. She didn't just roast her. She surgically dismantled the entire facade with humor that cut deeper than any accusation. This wasn't just an interview. It was a reckoning. And for the first time, the carefully controlled spotlight turned into an interrogator's lamp.
And as she got closer to Election Day, she decided to concoct 2 lies about Donald Trump to distract from her email scandal. She got the Steele dossier through this Fusion GPS company that her campaign paid, and she got this group CrowdStrike, which was the one responsible for the hack into that. That's the one that said that the Russians hacked.
Megyn Kelly didn't need to invent any punchlines. She just held up a mirror, and a clown car of catastrophic political decisions spilled out. Hillary's moral compass isn't a fixed point. It's a slot machine, and the only jackpot it ever hits is deflect. She's the type of politician who will set a bridge on fire and then deliver a lecture on unity, fanning the flames. Kelly simply gestured to the smoking ruins and asked the obvious question: how many times does the electorate have to reject you before the message gets through? What makes it a comedy is that Hillary still sees herself as the final boss in an 8-bit political video game. But the walkthrough is on YouTube, the cheat codes are public, and the soundtrack is a sad loop of her blaming Russia, sexism, and the gravitational pull of the moon for the loss. Kelly cuts through the noise with ease. There's delusion, and then there's the Hillary Clinton brand of delusion, a masterclass in self-mythology. Remember her relatable phase? As if trading a pantsuit for a flannel shirt could erase a 30-year record of calculated evasion.
She created this entire storyline around the Russians doing these terrible things in tandem with Donald Trump in order to, yes, hurt Trump, but also mostly to distract from her own scandal. And we also know that Obama knew. He knew about it. He was told by his intelligence agencies in the late summer and fall of 2016 at the...
Megyn Kelly didn't just revisit the old scandals. She put them on display, creating a fireworks show of political hypocrisy. She deconstructs the core truth. There is no version of Hillary Clinton that hasn't been beta tested by a focus group. Every haircut, every talking point, every calculated emotional beat feels like it rolled off a factory assembly line. But Kelly peels back the label and reads the ingredients. Behind the branding is a politician who has rebooted her own narrative more times than she's answered a direct question. This is where the critique lands hardest, right on the manufactured myth. The mystique is gone. She's not feared, she's just figured out. As Kelly makes clear, the mystery has evaporated under the glare of too many failed comebacks. She's not a phoenix rising from the ashes. She's a rerun, and with each new season, there's less fire and more cheap stage smoke. The political landscape has changed, but she's still on the same stage, auditioning for a role that was written off years ago. Kelly simply walks through the abandoned set and points to the empty chair. And that's the ultimate truth. Hillary built a legacy that is now a punchline, not a platform. Megyn didn't just end the roast. She explained exactly why nobody is buying the sequel.
So Hillary Clinton is now pretending like she did not call Donald Trump an illegitimate president when he beat her in 2016. She's expressing her horror and how indignant she is over him challenging the 2020 election results. And okay, that's fine. You can say you don't like how Trump behaved after, whatever, his loss, January 6th, the whole bit. But you cannot, if you are Hillary Clinton, play the whatever challenge and elect.
There is a certain tragic comedy in watching Hillary Clinton cling to relevance, attempting to build a new political machine out of spare parts. A podcast here, a university lecture there. As Megyn Kelly demonstrated, you don't need a flamethrower when the entire structure is made of paper. She simply exposed the illusion for what it was and watched it disintegrate under the weight of its own phoniness. Hillary now has a brand of leadership so grating, it makes people nostalgic for silence. She keeps showing up like a sequel to a movie that everyone hated, a walking reminder of every political dead end we've already explored.
Hillary Clinton just weighed in publicly again on why she lost. And just in case you were thinking it was because she didn't go to Wisconsin, you are wrong. It is you, women of America. It is your fault. She now sits down for an interview and decides that the reason she didn't win is American females, that they didn't like that she wasn't.
Megyn Kelly makes the entire Clinton charade look like a poorly written late-night sketch. Hillary enters every room with the serene entitlement of someone who believes the world owes her an apology and a standing ovation. Kelly doesn't just critique this performance. She takes a sledgehammer to the papier-mâché statue of self-importance. Clinton speaks of transparency, like a magician describing a trick, with a lot of misdirection and a hidden escape hatch. As Kelly notes, if the truth is in there, it's buried under a mountain of legalese and triple encrypted with plausible deniability. Then, there's the trail of political wreckage she leaves behind: allies, voters, entire movements. She treats political loyalty like a short-term rental agreement, to be discarded when the lease is up. Kelly turns this transactional approach into the ultimate punchline, because nothing says, "I'm a champion of the people," quite like cashing a $250,000 check from Goldman Sachs and then tweeting about income inequality from a private jet.
Hillary Clinton decided to drop an op-ed in the New York Times today that's entitled, "How Much Dumber Will This Get?" And she uses Signalgate and the messaging by Pete Hegseth and Mike Walls and JD Vance and Tulsi and others on there as the jumping off point to talk about how dumb the Trump administration is. Some highlights. She calls the Trump...
And let's not forget the endless pivoting. One day, she's a progressive firebrand. The next, a pragmatic moderate. Then a feminist trailblazer, all delivered with the charisma of a frozen Excel file. As Megyn Kelly demonstrated, you don't just critique that level of inconsistency. You launch it into the stratosphere of political satire, where her base still thinks 2016 was a cosmic mistake. Her strategy is a constant cycle of reboot and rebrand. But the core product is always the same, and the slogan feels like a tired echo from a history book. Watching her shift blame is like witnessing a bizarre, slow-motion interpretive dance of grievance. Kelly doesn't cut in. She lets the performance reach its absurd crescendo and then offers her devastating review. Her relationship with power now resembles someone shaking a long, empty piggy bank, hoping for one last coin of influence to drop. Kelly didn't have to topple the illusion. It was already teetering on its own. For a politician who preaches unity, she has a supernatural gift for creating division. The moment she speaks, the atmosphere becomes a cocktail of confusion and fatigue. Megyn Kelly just brought a megaphone to the resulting silence, ensuring everyone heard the joke.
Let's talk politics for a minute. Hillary Clinton is back doing a late night tour. She spoke with Jimmy Fallon and she had some thoughts on this boiling down to Trump versus Biden again.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And
good.
You know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91.
Megyn Kelly didn't just critique the brand. She reverse-engineered the entire business model. Power by nostalgia, strategy by relitigating the past, and relevance by sheer volume. Every time Hillary tries to launch a new narrative, Kelly is already there, highlighting the fine print and the footnotes from the last one. She dismantles the idea that Hillary is above criticism because of what she's been through. As Kelly clarifies, what she's been through is a long history of calculated ambition and strategic image control. She's not mocking the struggle. She's mocking the spin. There's a vast difference between resilience and rehearsed victimhood, and Hillary has been perfecting the latter since before the internet had memes. Kelly doesn't need to assassinate the character. Hillary already wrote the script, directed the production, and sold the tickets herself. Megyn just pointed out that the plot never changes. Watching her reemerge every few years is like seeing a pilot for a rebooted series you never liked in the first place. Kelly just reveals the shoddy production, reminding everyone that if the finale is always a disappointment, perhaps the premise was flawed from the start.
Are gutsy. And in case you just need a little bit more of a description, here's a part, I won't make you watch the whole, a part of the trailer for Gutsy.
Okay, here we go. We're hitting the road to shine a light on women who inspire us to be bolder and braver.
Leadership doesn't look one way. It's a giant rainbow.
You're not gonna break.
The obsession with curating her own legacy is the final act in the Clinton comedy. She wants to be remembered as the trailblazer who shattered glass ceilings. But as Megyn Kelly points out, all she's really done is sweep the shards into a pile and build a velvet rope around them. She's not offering inspiration. She's selling admission to a historical footnote. She wants to be a chapter in the history books, but she's destined to be the appendix people ignore. She pretends to be above the political mudslinging, but she's constantly lobbing grenades from the cheap seats, a retired player who can't stop critiquing the game. Kelly simply treats this commentary like a blooper reel. Every tweet, every smug interview after dodging another question. It's a sitcom so painfully unfunny, it doesn't even have a laugh track. And Megyn Kelly is the critic on the couch, calmly pointing out every plot hole with a glass of ice-cold facts. Hillary continues to present herself as the solution, the answer to a question no one has bothered to ask since 2016.
Joe and Kamala can win by 3 million votes and still lose. Take it from me. So we need numbers overwhelming so Trump can't sneak or steal his way to victory.
Okay. So why can't a smart guy like Mar know that? I mean, he genuinely seemed surprised to hear this from me. He doesn't, I think it's just his true hatred.
The irony is that Hillary Clinton still believes she owns the microphone. She takes the stage with a vintage confidence, pitching ideas that were rejected by the focus groups years ago. Megyn Kelly doesn't need to debate her. She just has to highlight what happens when a brand's style outlives its substance. The audience is different now, the message is off-key, and the applause is just a faint echo from a bygone era. The roast continues because while Hillary is trying to pitch a new season, Kelly is showing everyone the blooper reel and the behind-the-scenes footage of the director shaking his head. The reality is unavoidable. Hillary Clinton isn't the future. She's the setup for the next punchline, and Kelly has given everyone a front-row seat. She carries herself as if the presidency was a destiny denied, as if fate itself ghosted her. But Kelly refuses to let that mythology survive, crushing it with a decade's worth of hard truths. Because in the end, Hillary's greatest talent was never solving scandals, only surviving them.